welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking about what if Jiraiya was named the 5th Hokage. Well, we have to remember in the original timeline, Jiraiya does not, he is offered the position of the 5th Hokage, but does not take it as he thinks his services and his abilities are more well-rounded for the outside ninja world and sending intel back to the Leaf the best way possible. He thinks at least his skills is better as a spy and better as an intelligence grabber rather than me being stuck around the village and doing paperwork and protecting people, which is a fair assessment according to his abilities. Now, in this timeline, of course, if he takes up the fifth Hokage mantle in this timeline after Hiruzen's death, then you have to think of what comes next in the timeline. For at least Tsunade's majority rule, she really doesn't do much, nor does she really go out and do anything Hokage like in any of the fights. Mostly she is reserved until she has to do anything. For example, the Kage summit is when she's like really involved. But at least for Pain, Naruto, in that terms of fight, Naruto wouldn't have the intel of Pain just because Jiraiya wouldn't be able to go out and sacrifice himself to gain that intel on Pain. That means if Naruto and Pain were to fight, Naruto would be going in blind. Now, would Naruto still win that fight if Pain still comes to the Leaf and does his Pain invasion? Naruto would win, right? Just because off the benefactor of Naruto's the main character, while also Naruto still has the Nine Tails. So even if Naruto loses, Kurama's not losing. And with Jiraiya being in the village during that, during the Pain invasion arc, with him being Hokage, Pain most likely does die in that. At least the 6th pass of Pain does not kill as much people in that arc, in his Pain invasion for the Leaf, because now Jiraiya is there to help maintain the peace, and he can summon the Gamma Bunta Toads and his Sage Mode, so he is more than able to protect the village from the 6th pass of Pain. And now with Naruto's help, excluding Sage Mode, because I don't think Naruto would have accessed Sage Mode without Jiraiya's death. He was working towards it, but I think Jiraiya's death really pushed him for it. Naruto probably would get Sage Mode much later on in the show, in terms of the 4th Great Ninja War arc, where he has to attain it, and the Kurama cloak, and with under Jiraiya's guidance, he would just attain perfect Sage probably much faster. Also, Jiraiya isn't a perfect Sage, so that's also a little toss up in the air. But in terms of that, the Rinne rebirth probably still happens, because Jiraiya would be able to talk down his student, as Nagato hated him, but Nagato would still have that love for him. Rinne rebirth still happens, and all of the Leaf comes back. What is interesting, at least in this what if, would be the 5 Kage summit. Because if Sasuke or Obito or both were to pull up to the 5 Kage summit, and it would be Jiraiya, the Raikage, the Mizukage, Inoki, the Tsuchikage, and all of them, Sasuke would die in that arc. Unlike like Naruto would try to stop them from killing Sasuke, but you cannot tell me a masterful combination of Jiraiya, Raikage, and the Tsuchikage or Inoki, right, would be more than enough for Sasuke to handle. Sasuke would end up drawing back, as of course, at least in this timeline, Jiraiya would not be out for commission, nor would Tsunade be out for commission, at least in this debacle. So where Danzo would not have taken place. Also, Jiraiya pretty much handles Danzo, as he wouldn't have that personal connection to him as he would have for Hiruzen. So I like to think Jiraiya would have killed Danzo in this timeline, or at least imprison him, because he would have eventually unveiled his axe and be like, yeah, that's not smart for real. As well as this, now it would be the 5 Kage summit of Jiraiya. At least it would be the 5 Kages, Jiraiya, going against Madara. Now I think that mostly has the same result. Maybe they farce a little bit better just because of Jiraiya's Sage Mode and his ability. So of his so of his uniqueness towards everything, and Madara with his Sage Mode, he would be more of a chance against Madara. He would throw way more at Madara than the original 5 Kage did, because Tsunade was probably the weakest during that arc, at least during that Kage fight. So they do better against Madara. Now the war still happens as per usual, yada yada. Jiraiya most likely kills Orochimaru in some sort of aspect, at least in the end of the war arc, unless he really saw a change in Orochimaru's act like Tsunade does. But at least with him being a Kage, at least now, he would be able to summon, he would be able to fight with the Seinen 7, but he really isn't relevant to the story, at least towards the end, because just like Tsunade, he would have been phased out because their students surpassed him. Not saying his summonings, his uniqueness, his hair, and all of his jutsus would have been useful. They would have been useful in the Zetsu's attack, and maybe you would lose quite a smaller amount of bodies in the 4th Great Ninja War than they do originally. For example, they might have sealed a lot of the Kage sooner if Jiraiya is out there. Of course, we do know that Jiraiya is weaker than Orochimaru just based off of how they fight against the nine-tailed cloaks that Naruto exhibits. So that'd be interesting. And of course, after the 4th Great Ninja War, he probably retires and marries Tsunade somewhere off in the sunset, right? But that Madara fight, he probably would meet us in the that little fight just because Jiraiya himself isn't a healer like Tsunade, so he wouldn't be able to heal the Kage around him. Not saying they would exhibit serious damage, but they would take considerable. They probably would lose a Kage or 2 in that fight. Maybe not Jiraiya, because Jiraiya knows how to escape and maneuver out of these situations, unless he really has to give his life for intelligence. So there's that. Now, if you want to throw in him against any of the fights, like when Orochimaru and Kabuto comes to the village and how Jiraiya would handle that, Jiraiya says he would have killed Orochimaru if given a shot. So him and Orochimaru would get in a scuffle, but Orochimaru would end up leaving and none of them would have ended up dying in that fight, just like Tsunade and Orochimaru and Kabuto to a certain extent. But anyway, Naruto probably learns more and grows more as Jiraiya is alive and can teach him way more, and probably masters the Nine Tails much earlier on in the show, or at least to KCM 1 mode. Maybe not KCM 2, because Jiraiya would still be weary on that. Besides that, if Naruto achieves KCM 2 earlier in the show, because Naruto does have like a driving force and Jiraiya is a big motivation factor, at least in the show, for him to get stronger, for him to press on, for him to really grow as a character. But his training would have grown exponentially if Jiraiya was in the village to help him train. Man, Naruto would have made leaps and bounds, where Sasuke would not have been close to him until they get their 6 past powers, of course. Other than that, yeah. So I would like to say, if Jiraiya still lives after the 4th Great Ninja War, him and Tsunade get married off somewhere, right? But if he dies in the 4th Great Ninja War, it would probably be because he's giving his life, or he's summonings in his life to protect most of, if not all, the Leaf people before Naruto is able to share his chakra with mostly everyone, of course. Anyway, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.